Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Dollar Store Boys podcast. I am Dion Rabouin. I am a retired former financial journalist, and we're here on the Dollar Store Boys podcast. I got my man Justin Adams with me. Justin, tell him a little about who you are.
Yeah, doing well, Dion. You know, I am a reporter and an anchor out here in Denver for CBS Colorado. Also do play-by-play broadcasting. And you know what? We're just two friends who got together, want to help you with your finances and talk about our experiences as well, because that's what this is all about. That's what we call ourselves the Dollar Store Boys podcast, because we were able to go and build up some generational wealth by shopping at the dollar store.
Shopping at the dollar store,
That's
baby. That's right. Yeah, man. Listen, the Dollar Store Boys podcast is all about, like you said, how to save, how to invest. Not just telling you how to save and invest, but really telling you how to do it, how to budget, and how to grow that generational wealth. No matter where you are, no matter what your starting point is, the Dollar Store Boys are here to help you out with that, because we understand what it's like to be at the dollar store shopping. Ain't nothing wrong with shopping at the dollar store, right, Justin?
I still do.
Hey, same, brother. That's how we make that retired life work, baby. We head to the dollar store and get those deals.
That's right.
So listen, on this episode of the Dollar Store Boys podcast, we are going to be talking about this viral moment, as it were, with Sebastian Telfair. He's a former NBA player who made $20 million, but said it felt like he ain't make, quote, no money. We're going to get into what that was, tell you a little bit more about the clip. We're going to talk about why that might be, right? How your peer group can make you feel rich or can make you feel poor. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how regular people, even those making high salaries like $100,000, $200,000, six figures, whatever the income is, can fall into this very same trap. And then, of course, like we said, we're going to get into the solution, right? How investment and how investing can grow your wealth for life and how it can help you avoid this trap. Last thing, we're going to get into a little bit of why even millionaires don't save, because again, it's not about your age, or it's about your wage, right? It doesn't matter how much money you have. It matters that you act your wage. And that's what this show is all about.
Yeah, it's all about making sure that you have the money put away, that you're investing, and that you're making wise decisions with your funds. But before we, go and talk about what the rest of the show is going to be all about, let's go and take it to the clip from the Pivot podcast as they talk to Sebastian Telfair, who tells us all, you know what, $20 million? That really ain't no money.
No excuse. So I played 10 years. You said I made 20. We all know about Uncle Sam, right? So what's that, 10?
10.
Right? So that's about $1 million a year.
Yeah.
That ain't no money. That's the real truth. The real truth is I ain't really make no money. Mm-hmm. I really ain't make no money. So people are like, oh, I don't understand how you go crazy from, I'm like, I ain't make Floyd Mayweather and no money. I didn't make the type of money where it's like, I'm going to go crazy because I don't have it today. That's the real truth. If you do the math, that's $1 million a year. You got to be a real strategic dude making $1 million a year and thinking you're going to end up, with everything on earth.
And you taking care of the family?
I got 14 brothers and sisters that I love with all my heart. I got a mother and a father. It was a lot on us. But the real truth with the money part of it is we ain't make enough money for it to be sitting the way it's supposed to be sitting. That's the real answer to that. I invested in Philippe Childs. When I first got to the league, I was on the path to do, the right things, So I was on the right path. I just got knocked off the path of, sitting here with, $275 million cash right now.
All right, there he is, Sebastian Telfair, Dion. Wow. Interesting clip, to say the least. Now, let's take a look at his career, okay? 10-year NBA career. Started when he was 19 years old, retired when he was 29, and he made $19.1 million.
Almost $20 million.
Almost $20 million. We're losing that, 0.9 to be that 20 mil, right?
Yeah. That's only $900,000, whatever.
I mean, whatever. It's just between friends. It's just little money. But you know what? It's interesting that after taxes, that's roughly $10 million. That still comes out, Dion, to $1 million a year.
A year.
$1
After
million.
Taxes.
Good Lord.
Free and clear. You got $1 million a year free and clear, but that ain't no money.
That ain't no money at all. You know what? But he said that he wasn't really he wasn't making that Mayweather money, and there's some things that when we get a chance to look at athletes, obviously Sports Illustrated back in the mid 2000s, they had an article that came out that had a huge number of saying how many athletes, I believe it was 78%, that they were going broke years after they retired. And according to a working paper from the National Bureau of Economic Research, it said 15.7% of NFL players, and I know we're talking about NBA, but there's still it still works here, but 15.7% of NFL players filed for bankruptcy 12 years after retiring. And I think, Dion, it's really important because, I talk to a lot of youth. You talk to a lot of youth too who, they all have hoop dreams, right? They have dreams of going pro, and that's what they want to do. And even now in college, we have NIL, name, image, and likeness, where, young men and young women are able to go and make money playing college sports. But think about the average career span by league, okay? We'll start with MLS. I know we got some soccer fans out there. Average career span, 3.2 years. NFL, Super Bowl, different games like that, right? 3.3 years. Yeah, 3 years, 3 games, no matter where you were drafted, okay? NBA, 4.5, NHL, 5 to 6 years, and Major League Baseball, 5.6 years. But Dion, I could tell you, it is extremely difficult to be able to play baseball, all right? Something about hitting that ball makes it very difficult, especially when 100 miles per hour is coming after you, okay?
Yeah.
So,
and one thing I do want to say, we're talking about, because you use the word bankruptcy, right? And that's something that we're going to get into on the show. We're going to talk about bankruptcy because a lot of people feel like, oh my God, bankruptcy, that's terrible. That's the same as going broke. Bankruptcy is actually not the same thing as going broke. Bankruptcy just means that you have taken on more debt or more creditors than you can pay back. So there was a famous case a few years ago where 50 Cent, he filed for bankruptcy. And we all know 50 Cent, he had power. He's an executive producer. He just put out the Diddy documentary. Like 50 got money coming in, but 50 had taken on too much debt, too much credit, and he couldn't pay it back. And so that was why he filed for bankruptcy. That's not the same thing as being broke. When we're talking about Sebastian Telfair, that brother went broke. That brother was back living in the projects, running healthcare schemes, running health insurance schemes on his NBA player health insurance. That's broke. Like when you back in the projects with your fam, who you were taking care of, who you had, helped get out and all this, you back there now. That's broke. So that's to be clear, like, bankruptcy is one thing, and I want to talk about the specifics of that in future episodes, but we're talking about Sebastian Telfair. We're talking about a brother who made $20 million and then went broke.
Was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and I remember that. There was a documentary even about him on ESPN, and so very popular young man, but as you could see, just didn't have the financial backing. But I do want to point out one thing before we continue on, because again, I understand the hoop dreams, the pro dreams. I was at a career event at the University of Colorado, and there were several football players who talked to me. They're like, my dream is to make it to the NFL. Nothing wrong with that. I never want to stop somebody from going to their dreams. But understand that if you are at the average of just 3 years in the NFL, that is not enough years to build enough wealth for your playing career to sustain you for 30 to 50 years after your playing career ends. So whatever you make, you got to make sure that, yes, you want to go on, buy maybe a car, buy a house. But the main thing is you got to be smart and very wise with your money, or you could end up in a type of situation that Sebastian Telfair ended up, Dion.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that clip, right? He talked about, I didn't make no money. I didn't make money like Floyd Mayweather, this and that. And he's right. He didn't make money like Floyd Mayweather, right? Floyd Mayweather, we know, a 9-figure fighter, as he said a number of times, can make $100 to $200 million per fight. And when he's fighting, once a year, that's a lot of money. Yeah, okay. Sebastian Telfair didn't make money compared to that, right? He probably didn't make money compared to like a LeBron James or even someone like an Allen Iverson, right? He wasn't making that kind of money. But Sebastian made more money in 1 year than most families make in a decade, and more than some families make in their entire lifetime. So when we're talking about $20 million here before taxes and around, as Sebastian Telfair says, the government got to get theirs. So now you're talking about $10 million. But the biggest thing wasn't that he didn't make enough money. The biggest problem that Sebastian Telfair had was that he didn't make enough money to support his lifestyle. Sebastian Telfair did not act his wage. He didn't align himself with money spending habits that align with someone who's making $1 million a year. So listen, if you're taking home $1 million a year, you can't be going out doing all the same stuff as someone who's making $100 million a year. That person can do things that you can't do. And it's the same thing. I think a lot of families that are making $100,000 a year, right? Husband and wife make $50,000 each, or husband and husband making $50,000 each. And they're hanging out with couples that are making $350,000 each, $400,000 each, $500,000, $1 million a year. And they're trying to go out and spend like them, vacation like them. Right. And so, again, the same way that Sebastian Telfair is comparing himself to Floyd Mayweather. Well, yeah, you didn't make Floyd money, but you made good money.
Yes, you did. And when you think about the median household income in the United States, let's just go last year, 2025. The median household income in the U.S., think about this, is approximately $83,730. Think about that. $83,730 is the median household income, and you're talking about a young man that had $1 million.
$1 million.
Right? $1 million.
That's about 15 times that average. So he made about as much as 15 average people in the United States put together. And this is the median household income you're talking about is before taxes. Mm-hmm. His million was after taxes, right? So after the government got theirs, he still had $1 million left over.
And Dion, I think it's really important for us to, because one of the things that we talk about a lot before we get to Yuan is this is not a beat up podcast, right? We're not here to go and use people as an example to be a punching bag. What we're here to do is to be able to say, hey, here's a situation, and here's a way how you could be able to go in and find yourself not in a similar situation. Here's some different strategies that we have for you that can help you out so that you and your family can be able to succeed no matter how much income that you have. But going back to Sebastian Telfair, number one, I mean, not surprising, lost everything, moved back to Coney Island projects, supported parents, plus 14 brothers and sisters. And I understand, trying to help out your family as well. Healthcare fraud conviction, 6 months in jail. My goodness. But another sad story, it's not just with Sebastian Telfair. It's something that we saw with another professional athlete losing it all. Former Philadelphia Eagles defensive lineman Kevin Johnson, he died from blunt head trauma and stab wounds at a homeless encampment. And this is according to the Associated Press. And, Dion, it's very difficult to see somebody who, during his youth, strong as ever, was able to go and play on the field, living out a dream to be able to play the NFL. And you look years later after that you find yourself passing away at a homeless encampment.
And that really, right, that I think to me crystallizes this whole thing, because you're talking about a guy who was in the NFL, right? We all talk about, if I make it, we play football, Justin, and, when we were playing, there were a lot of guys who said they were going to make it to the league. I don't think any of them actually made it to the league, right? And even getting to college, right, playing at that next level, there are so few people that make it. So when you make it there, that's a real accomplishment. And it just shows that, okay, once you've accomplished that, well, there's still more to go. You've still got to prepare yourself for what's going to come after you're done in the league. So let's talk about the comparison trap, right? People always talk about comparison is the thief of joy, right? Okay, so Sebastian said, I ain't make no money. I ain't really make no money. He's compared himself to people that were making 30 million, maybe 40 million. Again, Floyd Mayweather making 100 million. This mindset isn't exclusive to athletes, right? We all know people that just, they compare themselves to people who are making a lot more. And what folks got to understand is, like, just because you're up here, like, and 98% of the population's here, doesn't mean that you're here. And some folks, we see this even with people we know who are making, $100,000, maybe $200,000, because really in the United States of America, in the world, that's rarefied air, right? To be making six figures is actually pretty rarefied air. But what you have to understand is how to act your wage. So one of the things that I learned when I first started making a little bit of money was the way that money changes people around you, right? So when I first got out to New York, got my first real job in journalism, I think I was making $75,000 a year. I really thought I was balling. I was like, woo, you can't tell me nothing, boy. I got $75,000 a year, man, before taxes. That's before taxes, right? I'm getting it. So I remember one of the first things I did, man, I went out, there was this bar I used to like to go to in Harlem. And when I signed that new contract with Reuters, I went out to I said, I'm going to buy the bar. I put my card down, like, let's get it. And let me tell you something. I understand because I had a good time, Justin. I had a very good time buying the bar. I had young ladies go, "Ooh, you bought the bar? What's your name? You wasn't trying to talk to me last week when I was at the bar. I said, oh, now you want to talk to me?" I had dudes coming up to, "Hey, man, what's up, bro? It's on you, man." You know what I'm saying? Like showing me love. Like the bartenders giving me little smiles and winks and nods. It's like it feels good. And I'll tell you, when I went back home and like I looked at my bank account, I noticed the difference, right? Whoa, hold on now. Yeah, that's like half my check. Hold up. Whoa, we can't be doing that no more. And it was a real quick lesson, right? Because I understand, like, oh no, I still gotta pay rent. But when you're Sebastian Telfair and that $2 million signing bonus hits and you go out and you buy the bar, even when the bar is like $20,000, $30,000, well, $2.5 million just went into your account and now $25,000 came out of it. You don't even notice. Right, so you go back to the bar and you do it again, and now hey, you got the bar, man. My man. Oh, you so fine. Oh my, let me talk to you. What's your name? Oh my, I can't believe I've never seen you in here before. Mm-hmm. And you start getting that love, right? And people start wanting to come around you, and people start wanting to treat you different. That can be really addicting. And so I understand the draw, right? And why you want to keep doing that. Because again, you look at your bank account and things haven't really changed that much. So you do it again and you do it again and you do it again. And then now you're not checking your bank account anymore, right? And now you're going on vacation. Floyd Mayweather hit you. Oh yeah. Were you on the jet? Yeah, I can fly private. Yep. Okay. And let's get some bottles and da. Right. And let's get these young ladies with us and X, Y, and Z. And now your accountant's calling you, "Hey, Sebastian, you ain't got no money left, bro." Yeah, the money all gone. Money all gone. Right? So whereas, again, you or I will get that immediate slap in the face, like, because you check your bank. Oh, no, Lordy, I can't do that. That's going to make these light bill hard to pay, mm-hmm. Right? Someone in the rarefied air of a Sebastian Telfair making $1 million a year with, again, we talk about that $2.5 million signing bonus. As soon as it hits your account, that's not incremental. That's not over time. It's yesterday you had $149.76, and today you got $2.5 million, $2,500,147.66 or whatever I said. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? And so I think people don't really understand that. And I want to kind of help folks get in that headspace of understanding why and how someone like Sebastian Telfair can lose that money.
I think another part too, Dion, is you think that it's always going to come, right? Like he played 10 years in the NBA. So you always have this mindset of the money will never dry up. I will always be able to go and get this back. I remember, Dion, and I know you remember this too. Remember the night before I got married? And there was a song, we were bowling at this bowling alley in Colorado Springs, and we're just enjoying ourselves, man. Had a couple of fellas out there, man, the grooms, man, we're doing our thing. And then around 11 o'clock, the music changed. Like right at 11 o'clock, it changed. And it went from like teeny bop music to like the hood of the hood music. That we had,
it got ratchet. It got ratchet real quick.
Man, we had all the trap music going on, man. And I looked, and there was a song called Spend It. Remember that?
I remember.
Spend the check and get it right back. And I was like, what? Like, the best part about it is we all paused like a minute into the song. We were like, are you kidding me? But in many respects, that's kind of the mindset too is, hey, don't worry about it. Spend it, man. Have that experience because you could spend that check and it's like a boomerang effect, right? It's going to come right back.
It's right back.
Except here, it didn't come right back. And that's one of the things you got to keep in mind. And, even for me sometimes, Dion, I understand the importance of keeping up with the Joneses. And it's difficult when you see friends that you have, and some friends may have a bigger home, or you see friends with newer cars, or, one of the things that happen from time to time is there's this thing called a push present. And so a push present and a right-hand ring. So right-hand ring being, okay, hey, we've been married for some time now. Obviously, the ring goes on the left hand. I'm not wearing it right now, but babe, it's in here. I'm at home, okay? I got the ring, okay? Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about the ring.
I wouldn't go say nothing, Justin. You're getting yourself in trouble, bro. You out here snitching on yourself.
Okay. Anyway, so, but what it is that not only do you have a wedding ring, but then you have another ring too, right? And so, hey, we've been married for some time. Here's another ring. And I'm like, that's odd, but okay. And then another thing is a push present. And so push present being, hey, you pushed out some kids. Let me go give you a present. And so it was interesting because I was around a couple of friends about who I love dearly. And they were like, yeah, we got our wife a push present. And I'm like, they were like, well, what did you do? And I'm like, well, babe, what's in the garage? It's a Lexus. Well, babe, did you ever have a car payment for that? No. We pay for it cash, right? Yeah. Well, if you want me to put that thing in neutral, we can have a push present if you want.
We can push it.
We can push that thing if you want. Push it back, way back, all right?
Yeah.
But there is that always that pull that you could feel as a man, especially, right? You feel as a professional where you look and say, hey, I'm a reporter, I'm an anchor, I'm doing all these other different things, I'm working all these different jobs, or I have this odd job here, I'm doing all these different things to be able to make some funds that I'm not successful or I'm not truly living the life that I'm supposed to live as I'm comparing myself to others. And that's
Right.
a trap that you will never be able to get out of. So yes, there's times that even hits me very hard, and I got to just push that back a little bit and say, hey, you're okay. What you're doing is fine.
Yeah.
And no matter what economic or how much money that you have, that's always something that you have to go and check out the front door.
And see, so let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about the alternative, because it takes a mindset to be able to say, like, nah, you know what? Let's not get that push present. Instead, let's invest. And here's why you do that. So let's get back to Sebastian Telfair, right? Sebastian Telfair, he's making $2 million. Okay, after taxes, that's $1 million. But let's say Sebastian Telfair had invested half. Just half, right? He's got just half of his after-tax earnings. So $500,000 during his 10-year NBA career. He played from 2004 to 2013. Those are some of the worst years for the stock market in history. But if he had taken half, not all, half of what he made and put it into an S&P 500 index fund, a simple index fund, we've talked about those here on the Dollar Store Boys podcast, he would have had $8.5 million at the end of 2013, and he still could have lived on $500,000 a year. So, Dion, you can live on $500,000 a year. Not bad. You can go buy a house with that. You can get some nice cars with that. You can live a good life, and you still put away $500,000 a year. And at the end of that time period, you have $8.5 million in 2013. Now, if he had kept that money invested, right, just set it in there in 2004, let it ride to 2013, then kept it in there from 2013 to 2026, that $8.55 million would be worth $39.5 million, thanks to the strong market returns that we've had over the last 10 years. So over the last 12 years, excuse me. So again, if rather than spending it, right, like the song says, spend it and get it back. No. If instead of doing that, you invest it and keep it there, right? He could have had $40 million instead of being broke into projects running health insurance schemes. So what we're talking about here is Sebastian Telfair probably had a fun time during those 10 years when he was spending all that money. But he could have had half as much fun and then now not gone to jail, not be living in the projects, and be a multi-millionaire 40 times over, right? If he had just kept that money. Now, let's even talk about, okay, you don't want to put half away. Let's say he puts away 10%. Just 10%, $100,000 a year from 2004 to 2013. Well, at the end of that period, he would have $1.7 million at the end of his playing career. And if he'd kept that invested, he would have $7.9 million today. So again, a millionaire multiple times over, able to buy those finer things, able to afford the good life, right? And he would have those things, and he still could have had $900,000 to spend on whatever he wanted after taxes from his playing career money. That's what we're talking about. So we're talking about still having a good time, still living a good life, still having nice things, right? But then you put that money away, put that money to the side, and it invests and it grows. And so when that time for your playing career is over, you've got a nice life ahead of you. Now you have more money than even you went in with. And again, we talked about it. Today, he would have more money than he made throughout his entire playing career if he had just put half of it away and invested it. He would have made more money from his investments than he made from actually being on the court.
Yeah, what you're trying to say is that his money would have been Euro stepping all the time for him, laying it up and everything, right?
Yeah, getting that layups.
Just a little finger
getting
roll.
Getting them layups. Little finger rolling.
But that just shows the importance of what we talked about in one of our previous shows, the magic of compound interest. And that's, again, where you have these funds, and we get it, that you could have been able to put that away. But now look at this, too, is that now you could be able to help. Now you could be able to go and give and be able to help out your family, too, in many different ways by putting those funds away. And so that's why we're here, to be able to go and help out with financial literacy. But another thing, too, Dion, here's a couple of reasons why. Not only athletes go broke, but let's be honest. I mean, when you're young, you have a lot of money, you have a lot of disposable income. And so what happens? You spend it on depreciating assets, cars, jewelry, not putting it in stocks and bonds and whatnot. And when you do put it in different things that aren't going to appreciate, you put in those depreciating assets, it's fun for that time, but it goes away.
Guns and butter, right?
Yep.
You put your money in butter, and the butter melts away. Them cars is real nice. Those jewelries are real nice when you got them, and then they stop being so nice. All that money that you're spending at the club is fun, but again, to be clear, we're not talking about spending no money at the club. You could go spend some money at the club. Go turn up at the club. Go by the bar once a year. You know what I mean? Once a year. One time, right? No one's saying you can't go by the bar. No one's saying you can't make it rain. Just not every night, right? Go put that money in the stock market and then go make it rain. So to relate this to the average everyday person, right? We're talking about setting up ways to do this immediately. Justin, talk me through that, man.
Yeah, you know what? If you make $100,000, right, and we talked about the median income for American families last year, according to the census, being $83,000, right? And that's before taxes, as Dion so astutely pointed out. But you know what? If you make $100,000, invest $15,000 to $20,000 per year. And I understand, trust me, being married father with 2 kids, I understand how difficult it is to put money away. Brother, trust me, I know, man. These kids ask me for one more toy, and they got a million of these toys at the house. Daddy, I need a new toy. Can I get a new football? I'm like, you got 5. You're right here, man. What are you talking about, man?
But you put one of them footballs in a box. Be like, yeah, I got you a new football, son.
You know what? I'm thinking I should do that. Honestly, for Christmas one year, I'm just going to take one of the things I already have, re-gift that thing, and then give it back to him.
Put it in a new box.
Look what I found. But you know what? It's just also make sure that you set up ways that money comes out of your check immediately, right? So what you could do is, one of the things you could do is, and we do this as well, is that you can have a percentage where a percentage, usually you could say 100% goes into, say, your checking account. Well, you can have a certain percentage, say 10% that goes into, say, your ally account or high yield interest savings account. You can have that happen. Or you can even do that too, where you have a certain amount go to, say, your stocks, right? Your Charles Schwab or different accounts like that, if you may use that. Those are different ways that you take out the thinking power, and immediately now those are now in different places. Yeah. So now what do you see? Well, now your check, you're seeing, okay, hey, it's 80%, but you already know where your funds are going, and you're not looking to say, okay, well, let me go pay my bills first, or let me go pay this creditor first, or whatever. It's the money's already gone, so it's already saved, and you don't have to worry about that anymore.
And so now you could just pay them creditors with what you got, and now there's less money to go make it rain with, right?
Yes,
and
that's right.
As we talk about, so there are a lot of ways to automate this. Justin, like you're saying, you talk about Schwab, you can do Fidelity, Vanguard, you can do whatever you want. There's lots of different. They're not sponsoring the show, so we're not giving Schwab no special love.
That's right.
They're not paying the Dollar Store Boys no money. So, but let's say you have an account with J.P. Morgan Chase or Wells Fargo, whoever it is. They have their own wealth management setup already there, and you can set it up so that the money comes straight from your check as soon as it goes into your account through direct deposit. 20% goes into your investment account. 10% goes into your savings account. Don't leave your money with no Chase or Wells Fargo. Don't do it. Get yourself a separate high yield interest account. If you don't know what that is, look it up, but get yourself a high yield savings account. If you don't have one, do that right now. but make sure that your money is going to these savings vehicles, and you can set that up automatically.
Yeah, and another thing too is that as you put those funds away, because that's helped us out a whole lot. I can't tell you, time after time, you talk about holidays, you talk about birthdays, Valentine's Day is coming up. My God, all these other different days, right? And it's so easy to where you have to say, okay, I need to go and spend this, or I need to go and pay for this. To be able to have that money automated and just automatically taken out, I'm telling you, it's going to save you so much trouble.
Yes.
And one other thing too, as we talk about automated, if you don't know how to be able to do so, you could always go to HR and they will be able to help out. So please go into HR, say, hey, how do I do this? How can I go and make sure that I'm putting this money into this account? Make sure you have the right account number, right? Because you don't want to put it in somebody else's account accidentally, right? But you put your account number in there. You have a certain percentage that goes in there every month. And every time you get paid, a certain cut will go there. Just like when taxes come out your check. You don't know where that money goes, right? Where in the same way, you want to know that, hey, this money is automatically going to be taken out and go to one of those accounts so it can help you build wealth.
Yeah, and the reason that you want to do this is human psychology is well known. It's understood that delayed gratification is difficult. Spending gives us immediate pleasure, gives you that dopamine hit, right? That affects NBA players and regular people all the same. You spend, you get what you want, you got this immediate gratification of, ooh, I have this thing. Versus saving, you're putting money away and you're taking away that thing. And so you really have to retrain your brain because it's not a natural brain function to want to delay your gratification. If that's not something that you just naturally are born with, it takes time and it takes process to be able to retrain your brain to do that.
And it also takes discipline. But you know what? I would say this, Dion, and I want to pause for a bit because that could sound a tad harsh, especially when you look up and you see advertising all the time. And whether you're driving or whether you're watching TV or whether you're on YouTube watching our program, right? There's always some sort of advertising and something that just wants to go in, get into your pockets, grab your money and say, here's this product. You gotta have this product.
Gotta
right?
have it.
But it's important. It's important. And look, it's taken us time. There's still times that I'm like, Justin, you didn't need that. Come on, man. Come right back home. And just be able to say, okay, this is what you could do to be able to save. One thing that really helps out is that if you're going on a vacation, we do this. We go on an annual honeymoon, my wife and I, every year, and we have a number in mind. And so it helps us to say, hey, we may want this, but you know what? We're going to go on this vacation, or we're looking to buy a new bed, right? We're looking to buy a new king-size bed.
You don't worn out the bed?
Well,
sucker now.
Hey, you don't get two kids for no reason now, baby. Hey. But with that, we look and say, okay, we can either go and buy something right now, and it's not exactly what we want, or we can save and truly not only get what we want, but get the best deal for that too. So having a goal in mind will help you in the short term to be able to have that long-term item that you're looking to have. So just always keep that in mind. But you know what? One of the things that hurts, Dion, is this I deserve it mentality. And I talked about it a little bit earlier, right? You work hard, you put in your 40 hours, or a lot of us are putting even more hours than that. And, and it's like, hey, I deserve it. Right, I deserve to be able to go on this vacation.
Right.
I deserve to be able to do this, or why can I not have this? Well, the reality is that it could hurt you, right? Especially if you put things on a credit card and you don't pay it off that month. Well, now you have that 22% interest. Now you have to go and pay on that too, and now you're putting yourself in a deeper hole. So yes, you do deserve it, but I wanted to flip it a little bit. You deserve also to be able to put your hard work away and let that compound interest work for you, so you could be able to not only enjoy it for that one moment, but also enjoy it for years down the road too.
Listen, big picture, live below your means so that you can live well above your means when your work time stops. That's whether you're an NBA player making millions of dollars and you have an average 3.5-year career, or if you're working for 30 years, and you're making this much money. put it away so that, when that retirement comes around, now you can live really well, as opposed to having to live at the means that you can afford when you're older, when your movement is more difficult, when your brain's not as sharp as it is now, right? Investing the difference. Investing is the key. This helps folks act your wage. If you act your wage will grow.
Yeah, and make sure you have something left so that when your friend goes to the bar and says that he wants to buy the bar, you can just be like, hey, you want to buy the bar. Like I said, Dion, you could just go and come here and just buy a couple of things with family.
You can buy this bar.
You can buy this bar right here, man. Just go help us out.
Yeah, we got $8 beers right here. I got $8 beers right here, brother. You can buy the bar out.
That's right. Be able to take care of it, man. But
yeah.
Look, that's always important. And here's the thing for Sebastian Telfair, and the last part too. Even though he made $19.1 million, and even though you have the story about the projects and all this other stuff right now, know this, that where you are at right now is not your forever. Like, where you are at right now is not your forever. Sebastian Telfair has an amazing story, and there are ways to be able to make money, to be able to make funds again. Is it $19.1 million immediately, like he did over 10 years? Maybe not so in that sense, but he does have a name, and he also has an experience and a story that he can be able to go and monetize. And I say that because you at home may be wondering the same thing. Can I be able to go and get out of this situation, get out of this rut that I'm in, and be able to make some funds? And the answer is yes. Compound interest, and the way that money is not just for the few. It's for everybody. So just know this, that as long as you are able to go and act your wage, truly, your wage will grow.
Speak to him, Justin. Listen, that's going to do it for us here on the Dollar Store Boys podcast.
Yes, sir. And Sebastian Telfair thought that $10 million ain't no money, but you know what? He compared himself to the wrong people, but you know what? Don't make that mistake. Truly act your wage, invest the difference, and build real wealth. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. This is episode 3. We're going to have a lot of different things going out right now, and we're just getting started. And we want also to hear from you, so please leave us with a comment and let us know, what do you want us to talk about? We'll love to be able to bring it to you on the next episode of the Dollar Store Boys podcast. So for my brother Dion Rabouin, I'm Justin Adams saying so long, and we will see you on the next episode of the Dollar Store Boys podcast. Be blessed.